Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Chevanese coming back at you with another video. As per usual, I want to thank everybody that has been supporting this channel, has been liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about relationships, the do's and don'ts of relationships, some tips to make your relationship work, some things that doesn't make your relationship work, and so on and so forth. So, come with me. In this day and age, I feel like relationships are harder because I think that I love you in some terms has lost its meaning. I feel like people throw around I love you so much that it kind of lose its meaning. I mean, in the past, when somebody say I love you, you could genuinely know that they really mean it, because people never used to throw around I love you like this. Now people will just meet you and like, baby, I love you. I'm like, what? You love what? What exactly do you love? You don't know me, just meet me like 2 seconds ago. Like, that is so irritating to me. I feel like that has made relationship harder because it's hard to find somebody that is totally genuine. No. Okay, let's fast forward now to you being in a relationship. Here are some of the stuff that I think that you shouldn't do. I feel like we tend to destroy a relationship by bringing our past into our present. I don't know if I'm making sense to y'all, but hear me out. Some of us in our past relationships have been hurt a lot. So we bring that with us to the present relationship. Now, we tend to have trust issues, which is understandable, but then we start judging our partners based on how our previous partner treat us, which is not fair, you know? So we have to let go of our past so that our present can prosper. Yes. And I think one of the most, and I can't stop exaggerating on that, important thing in a relationship is communication. Communication is the root of every relationship. Trust me. If you don't have communication, your relationship is gonna break down. It's you have to communicate with your partner, because you have to understand that they're not mind readers, they're not psychic or whatever. So if you have a problem, talk to your partner about it. Talk to that I don't like this, or I like that, or whatever. Don't expect your partner to just know. And we as females tend to do that. Just expect that he should know that I don't like that. Yeah. But you have to communicate. Communicate is really a big part of a relation. I think it's the most important part of a. I feel like when we don't communicate, the relationship tend to break down. Small things become a big issue. I feel like we'll have little things happen that bothers you, and you don't say anything. You just keep it and pretend like everything is okay, or you just start having an attitude, and then small things they just keep adding up, and we don't say anything. So when we reach our ends meet and then something has happened, we just blow up, and then what was just a small misunderstanding can turn into this big thing. So I feel like just communicate. And when you're communicating with your partner, just bear in mind that you have to be sensitive and mindful of the other person's feelings. Remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So when you're going to talk to them, make sure you approach them in a an understanding way and nothing rude to let them feel some kind of way. So yeah, that's one of the things that we should do. Another thing that we should always be mindful of and should do, that it's compromising. In a relationship, we have to learn to compromise. We have to be able to meet each other halfway. We have to realize that we cannot always have it our way. It's not about, when you're in a relationship, we have to learn to take out the I and me. It's now we and us. You have to realize that. So you can't just always have things your way. you have to learn to compromise. Yeah, you just have to meet each other halfway. So maybe you don't like to do this, but he likes to do this, or you don't like to do this, but she likes to do this. Compromise. That's a big part of a relationship. You have to know that you cannot always have it your way. And one thing that we shouldn't do in a relationship is compare. Do not ever compare your present partner with your ex. That's like a big no no. And people do that, but I don't understand why you would even think to do that. I think maybe sometimes it slips, but I think you should never, ever, ever, ever compare your partner to your ex, because you're gonna say, oh, my ex did this or he did that. Like, hold up. If he was that good or if she was that good, why they're your ex? Why you're not still with them? So I think we should never. I think that like hurts your partner on a whole different level. So you should never ever ever compare them to your ex. That's a big big no no. Another thing that I think that people tend to do is trying to change your partner. Don't try to change them. For instance, you went into a relationship with a person that you know that they love to party. You meet them at a club and that's what they do. They party every weekend or every day. Don't go into a relationship saying that, you know what? I'm not a party person but I'm gonna change him. No. In the beginning stage of the relationship, get to know the person and what the person does, what the person is all about. Don't go into a relationship trying to change the person, trying to make the person what you want them to be. Everybody has to be true to themselves. So you have to find out if the kind of person that person is, if that's the kind of person you want. Don't know that you don't like a party person, but you're gonna be in a relationship with a person that loves to party and with the intention that you're gonna change them. Don't ever do that. Yeah, don't ever try to change somebody. You know what you went into the relationship with. You know what kind of person that was. So don't get me wrong. Like certain little habits that you can say stop putting your socks on the floor. Certain little habits. It's okay to say you need to change that, but don't try to change the person whole personality, who the person is, what the person's like to fit your needs. You went to the relationship knowing that this was the kind of person that person is, and you should have known that that's not what that's kind of person is not the person for me, and should find somebody that you like instead of meeting them and trying to change them to fit your what you like. Everybody, as I said, everybody has to be true to themselves. If I'm going to try to be somebody else to please somebody, I'm not going to be happy. So don't ever try to change your partner. Yes, guys, because if you make them feel like they need another shoulder to cry on, that's when you're going to have a problem. Because just imagine, they're having an issue. The person that is supposed to be there for them or not, but somebody else is there understanding what they're going through. Immediately they're gonna kind of feel attached to that person, over time they're gonna gather feelings for that person, and then you're gonna wonder what is going on. Being there for your partner is very important, because we all need that. I think all of us can relate. Other people, you have friends in your life that's there for you, and parents or whatever, but sometimes you just need that special person to be there for you. And we all have that feeling sometimes. So it's very important for you to just be there for each other. Always be each other's biggest support system. Guys, one of the things that I think that also you should not do, and some people may disagree or whatever, but remember, this is totally my opinion, and I think that most of y'all will agree. I think that when you and your partner have a problem, let it remain between you guys. Don't go run to your parents and be like, oh, he did this to me or she did this to me. Don't ever do that, because that's just going to make a whole lot of mess. Because on day two, you're going to forgive that person. Your parents ain't going to. Hell no. And then they're going to end up hating the person that you're with. And that's not a good look. And that just makes everything complicated. So when you guys have a problem, try to work it together, because don't go run to your family and stuff because you forgive that person, they won't. Just know that. Okay? Don't get me wrong now, I don't mean like if you have an abusive partner, you should keep it from your parents or keep it from your friends and be like, oh, it's my thing. I'm not, I'm not talking about that. Because if you have an abusive partner, go tell somebody. That's a big no. So don't think like that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you guys have just a little issue, you have a little argument, and you're mad at the time and you run to your parents and whatever. Don't do that. So don't get me wrong, if you're in an abusive relationship or it's something serious, yes, go tell your friends or something. If you're afraid, go tell them. Don't keep it and be in a relationship that you're not happy. So don't get me twisted, don't get it all wrong. Guys, this is my belief. I feel like love conquers everything. I feel like if you're in a relationship and you feel like it's going downhill, I feel like if you both have genuine love for each other, you guys can work it out. I feel like you should not be so quick. Sometimes we're too quick to jump to let things go and want to just break up and just end things. I feel like we're too quick to do that. I feel like sometimes we need to just sit our ass down and work things out, because sometimes it's not even that serious. If we sit down and we both communicate, there's so much things that we can do and just have this great relationship if we just learn to not so be quick to just jump up and do stuff and make rash decisions. I feel like if you're in a relationship and it's failing, guys, just sit and you both have love for each other, real love, just sit down and communicate. Try to figure out where you guys went wrong, because I'm sure you guys, if you guys decide to go in a relationship, there must be something. So just sit down, communicate, see where you went wrong, see if you guys can work things out, see that if it can fix, because love conquers all, guys. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why we tend to mess up in relationship. Because alright, say I left out of a relationship and I was quick to leave the person. I was in love with the person, but I was quick to leave the person because of a rash decision. I just decided on my feet, you know what, I can't do this, it's done. And I go back into a relationship, and then that other person that I left come back in the picture. Now when that person comes back, then all these feelings come back, and then you might end up get involved with that person again, and then one whole big mess. So guys, for you all that having relationship issues, I think the best advice I can give you guys is just communicate. Sit down with your partners, because if you guys are in a relationship and you decide not to let go, that means there must be something holding you guys together. So I feel like if we just sit down and communicate with our partners and see where you went wrong, because there has to be something, that there has to be somewhere where went wrong, so you guys can fix it. Or if it can't be fixed, then you guys can leave out of the relationship, but not leave the relationship being bitter, and it will be a mutual agreement, that we're not really for each other, so we don't have to leave a relationship bitter and hurt because we communicated. As I close this video, I want to tell you guys, love hard. I know that most of us experience heartbreak and pain and whatever, but don't judge your partner. Don't go into a new relationship with all those negativity and negative vibes. Go into it with a positive vibe and an open mind. Just love hard, guys. I hope I was able to help somebody. And before I go on to say Happy New Year to everybody, I hope all your wishes come through this year, and everything that you hope to accomplish this year, that you guys accomplish. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.